that's where the secrecy comes in. It's because a lot of this stuff is actually, magic rituals, but under a guise of storytelling.
Yeah.
And I think the hypocrisy comes in from the Freemasons saying we'll accept any man of any religion as long as they believe in a religion. You cannot join the Freemasons if you don't believe in something. It doesn't matter what it is, but it has to be something. You have to believe in some deity, some god, something. So they're only interested in people who are religious. Then what they ask you to do inside the lodge is do ceremonies and things which by most religions you wouldn't be allowed to do because they would be considered to be pseudo-occult. Now, the way they get around that is they hide the fact of what you're doing inside something else. So it's like, it's like one of those Russian dolls. It's like within a doll, there's a doll. Inside the doll, there's a doll. So it's kind of like when you're doing a ceremonies for the Freemasons, it all seems kind of like just play acting and just a joke. But of course, they're pointing towards the cardinal points like north, south, east, west. They're invoking things. As I showed, I was quite surprised to see wands there. But I mean, if they're using wands and sort of sending energies and pointing at cardinal points and saying things, much like neurolinguistic programming, you could have a conversation with somebody and you could say, how would you like to come out for a hot dog today? But what the key parts of that conversation weren't that sentence. It was parts inside it which are programming you to do something different.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you can drop in to this whole framework of the Freemasons that these guys are going around not knowing what they're doing. Most of them don't actually know what they're doing. And to all intents and purposes, you can get to quite high levels in the Freemasons and you still won't know what you're doing. But there are some people in there that do know what it means and do know how it deciphers. And they're the ones that are tapping into the magic and probably connected higher up in magic circles. Now, if you're the right sort of person who gets it or sees it or spots it, you'll be asked to join other parts of the Freemasonry, these like specialisms and special little sort of like side orders. And that's where you sometimes get introduced to the magic stuff, the actual direct magic stuff.
There are many people, I mean, I think, probably the vast majority of people who get involved in Freemasons because, it's good for the community. It's good. It's networking, right? You can get ahead in your career. You can make some money. You get networking with other people like-minded and so on.
They've always had to do that because, from a PR point of view, they've had a real hard time over the years, and quite rightly so too, because, I mean, popes have said in the past that Freemasonry is incompatible with the church because it asks you to practice a different religion inside the temple than the one religion, which is like, Catholic church, so they're Catholicism. So you can't go inside closed doors and become like, tonight I'm going to put on my magic hat or my Freemason hat and then go out and say, oh, but now I'm just a Catholic again, because it's like, well, you can't, because you're not supposed to do that, because you're not supposed to worship false idols, and you're not supposed to do, in many of these religions it's just incompatible. But the Freemasons say, but that's okay, because we won't tell anybody. You can be one of us.